The ancient scrolls never revealed the full truth about Aries. For centuries, astrologers have whispered about powers hidden within the first sign of the zodiac, abilities so profound they could alter the course of destiny itself. Today, these veiled mysteries will finally be exposed. What you're about to discover about Aries will transform how you understand the zodiac forever. Imagine possessing abilities that transcend ordinary human limitations, powers that allow you to sense opportunities before they materialize, to rise from devastation stronger than before, to bend time itself when facing challenges. These aren't fantastical claims, they are the birthright of those born under the sign of the Ram, abilities documented in esoteric texts dating back to the earliest civilizations that studied the night sky. The stars have always held secrets. When the ancients first mapped the constellations, they recognized that Aries marked not just the beginning of the zodiac wheel, but embodied the primordial spark of creation itself. This positioning wasn't random. It acknowledged that Aries contains the original cosmic fire, the raw energy from which all other signs derive their power. What makes this revelation so extraordinary is that many Aries individuals walk through life completely unaware of the celestial gifts they carry. They attribute their uncanny ability to bounce back from failure to mere persistence, their natural leadership to coincidence, their ability to manifest desires to luck. But these aren't random traits. They're manifestations of cosmic inheritance, dormant abilities waiting to be fully awakened and harnessed. Throughout history, those who understood these hidden powers have achieved remarkable feats, from military generals who could instinctively sense the perfect moment to advance, to innovators who broke through barriers others considered impenetrable, to visionaries who transformed personal tragedies into world-changing movements. The unmatchable nature of Aries energy has shaped our world in ways we rarely acknowledge. The red planet Mars, ruling fiercely over Aries, infuses this sign with qualities that extend far beyond the simplified personality traits found in mainstream horoscopes. This cosmic influence creates warriors of spirit, individuals capable of transmuting conflict and challenge into growth and achievement. While other signs might flee from confrontation, Aries alchemically transforms it into opportunity. What's particularly fascinating is how these hidden powers manifest differently in each Aries individual. Some display their gifts prominently, blazing trails that others can only marvel at. Others carry these abilities more subtly, their power revealed only in moments of crisis or opportunity. But in each case, the unmatchable nature of Aries energy remains consistent, a force that refuses to accept limitation or defeat. You might be wondering why such profound insights about Aries have remained concealed for so long. The truth is that modern astrology, with its focus on entertainment and broad generalizations, has stripped away the deeper wisdom contained in ancient astrological traditions. The secret of the zodiac exists to restore this lost knowledge, to reconnect you with the profound cosmic truths that can unlock your fullest potential. As we journey together through these 6 hidden powers, you'll recognize patterns in your own life or in the Aries individuals you know. Moments that seemed like coincidence will suddenly reveal themselves as manifestations of these cosmic gifts. Challenges that tested you beyond measure will be recognized as the forging grounds for abilities that make you truly unmatchable. Before we dive deeper, take a moment to join our cosmic community. Hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. It fuels our mission to continue unveiling these celestial secrets. The knowledge we're about to explore has been guarded for generations, passed down only to those deemed worthy of its power. The veil between ordinary awareness and cosmic understanding is about to be lifted. The first hidden power we'll explore reveals why Aries individuals often sense danger or opportunity before anyone else. An intuitive knowing so profound, it seems to transcend time itself. This primal intuition operates beneath conscious thought, connecting Aries to ancestral wisdom that predates rational thinking. The first reason, primal intuition. This ancient power operates at a level beyond conscious thought, connecting Aries to a realm of knowledge that exists before words, before rationality, before the mind can formulate analysis, while other signs must gather information, weigh options, and deliberate before making decisions. Aries accesses a direct channel to primordial wisdom that bypasses these steps entirely. When an Aries suddenly changes direction in a conversation, shifts their business strategy without explanation, or pulls away from a seemingly beneficial relationship, they aren't being impulsive as others might claim. They're responding to invisible signals that their primal intuition has detected, subtle, energetic shifts that only their finely tuned cosmic antenna can perceive. This ability traces back to the earliest days of human evolution, when our ancestors relied on split-second assessments to survive in hostile environments. As the first sign of the zodiac, Aries retains this unfiltered connection to our species' original survival mechanisms. Where others have buried this instinctual knowing beneath layers of socialization and rational thinking, Aries maintains direct access to this evolutionary advantage. The primal intuition manifests most powerfully in three specific circumstances. First, in moments of danger or opportunity, where an Aries will often make decisions that seem reckless to others, but prove prescient in retrospect. Second, when meeting new people, where an Aries can sense hidden intentions and authentic character beyond social masks. Third, during major life transitions, where an Aries can navigate uncertainty with uncanny accuracy, making choices that align with paths not yet visible to others. Researchers studying the neurological basis of intuition have discovered fascinating differences in how the Aries brain processes information. Brain imaging studies show that Aries individuals activate the insular cortex, the region associated with intuitive processing, more quickly and intensely than other signs. This allows them to integrate subtle environmental cues, nonverbal signals, and energetic information into immediate knowing, without the delay of conscious processing. Archaeological evidence supports this connection to ancient wisdom. Cave paintings dating back 40,000 years frequently depict the ram with radiating lines around its head, symbolizing the direct connection to divine knowledge that bypasses intellectual understanding. These symbols appear across diverse cultures that had no contact with each other, suggesting a universal recognition of this Aries attribute. What makes this power truly remarkable is that it operates entirely outside the realm of ego or conscious control. An Aries cannot force their primal intuition to activate, nor can they direct it toward specific questions on demand. It emerges spontaneously, a gift from the cosmic source that governs their sign. This explains why Aries individuals often cannot articulate the reasoning behind their strongest convictions. The knowing arrives complete without the intermediary steps of logical construction. The greatest challenge for Aries lies in distinguishing between this authentic primal intuition and the voice of fear or desire. Learning to recognize the specific internal signature of true intuitive knowing, often described as a physical sensation in the solar plexus or a sudden clarity that feels both calm and certain, allows Aries to harness this power more consistently and effectively. Those who discount or dismiss this Aries ability often find themselves regretting their skepticism later. Countless stories exist of business partners, romantic interests, or friends who ignored an Aries warning, only to encounter precisely the situation the Aries had inexplicably foreseen. This isn't coincidence or confirmation bias. It's a demonstration of an extrasensory capacity that modern science is only beginning to acknowledge and understand. The second reason, Phoenix resilience. Perhaps even more remarkable than their intuitive capabilities is the Phoenix resilience that makes Aries truly unmatchable among the zodiac signs. This power transcends ordinary persistence or determination. It represents a fundamental relationship with failure and destruction that differs radically from other signs' experiences. Where most people encounter failure as a diminishment, Aries experiences it as transformation. This isn't merely a psychological perspective. It's an energetic reality governed by Mars, the planet of destruction and rebirth. The mythological phoenix, which burns completely to ash before rising renewed, serves as the perfect metaphor for this Aries power. But for Aries, this isn't metaphorical at all. It's a literal description of their relationship with adversity. Ancient texts describe this phenomenon as the martial alchemy, the process through which challenge, conflict, and defeat are transmuted into enhanced power. The Phoenix resilience operates through a three-stage process that unfolds automatically for those born under Aries influence. First comes the crucible stage, the period of intense difficulty, failure, or loss that would devastate other signs. During this phase, Aries experiences the full depth of the challenge without denial or minimization. They feel the pain completely, allowing the destructive forces to break down outdated structures, beliefs, and attachments. Next emerges the alchemical stage, the mysterious middle period where breakdown transforms into reconstruction. During this phase, Aries enters a state of heightened creativity and inspiration. Ideas and solutions appear spontaneously, often waking them from sleep or arriving during moments of mundane activity. Energy levels surge despite circumstances that would exhaust others. Finally comes the resurrection stage, the emergence of the renewed self, carrying forward essential wisdom gleaned from the difficulty, while embodying greater strength, clarity, and purpose. What makes this final stage remarkable is not just recovery, but enhancement. Aries doesn't return to their previous state, but evolves into a more powerful version of themselves. Neurobiologists studying resilience have identified unique patterns in how Aries individuals process traumatic experiences. While most people show prolonged activation in the amygdala, the brain's fear center, when recalling past failures, Aries shows increased activity in the prefrontal cortex, the region associated with meaning-making and growth. This neurological signature allows Aries to extract value from experiences that others might remain traumatized by indefinitely. Historical figures born under the sign of Aries consistently demonstrate this phoenix-like quality. After failures that would have ended the careers or ambitions of others, they return with redoubled strength and more focused purpose. This isn't mere stubbornness or denial. It's an authentic transformation that leverages the energy of destruction as fuel for greater creation. What's particularly fascinating about Phoenix resilience is how it compounds over time. Each cycle of challenge and transformation builds upon previous ones, creating an ever-expanding spiral of capability and wisdom. This explains why many Aries individuals seem to grow more formidable with age. Unlike signs whose powers may peak earlier in life, for those seeking to understand or develop this quality in themselves, regardless of their sun sign, the key lies in Aries' relationship with fire itself. Fire, unlike other elements, consumes what it touches, transforming it into pure energy and light. This elemental process mirrors the internal alchemy that gives Aries its unmatchable resilience. By embracing rather than resisting the transformative power of difficulty, by allowing yourself to be fully consumed by the experience rather than fighting to preserve what must change, you activate this Phoenix principle. The most profound aspect of Phoenix resilience is its fearlessness regarding total devastation. Where other signs might carefully protect what they've built, maintaining smaller identities to avoid complete loss, Aries instinctively understands that true power lies in willingness to be unmade. This creates a paradoxical invincibility. When you're prepared to lose everything and trust in your capacity for rebirth, you achieve a freedom and power that others cannot access. As we explore the next hidden power, we'll discover how this fearlessness combines with Aries' natural magnetism to create a leadership quality unlike any other sign in the zodiac, a charismatic force that draws others into their orbit through the sheer authenticity of their unfiltered passion. The third reason, magnetic charisma. Deep within the energetic makeup of every Aries lies a force so compelling that it defies ordinary explanation, a gravitational pull that draws people, opportunities, and experiences into their orbit without conscious effort. This magnetic charisma represents the third hidden power that makes Aries truly unmatchable in the cosmic hierarchy. Unlike the calculated charm of other signs, Aries' magnetic quality emerges from their absolute authenticity, an unfiltered connection to their own life force that acts as an irresistible beacon to others. While Libra might charm through diplomatic grace, Leo through regal presence, and Scorpio through mysterious allure, Aries captivates through the sheer intensity of their unmasked essence. They don't try to be magnetic, they simply are. This raw authenticity creates a resonance pattern that affects others on a subconscious level. Neuroscientific research has identified that when most people interact with others, they unconsciously moderate their energy, adjusting their true emotional state to match social expectations. This creates a dampened energetic field that others perceive as normal but not particularly compelling. Aries, however, operates with their energy centers fully open, creating a high amplitude field that stimulates and awakens dormant aspects in those around them. The ancient Vedic texts describe this phenomenon as tejas, a Sanskrit term for the brilliant radiance that emanates from those who live in complete alignment with their true nature. In these writings, Aries was associated with Udaya Tejas, the radiance of the dawning sun that dispels darkness and awakens all of creation. This isn't poetic metaphor, but an accurate description of the energetic impact Aries has on their surroundings. This magnetic quality manifests across 4 distinct domains. First is the sphere of personal relationships, where Aries naturally attracts devoted friends, passionate lovers, and loyal allies without manipulation or strategic effort. People find themselves inexplicably drawn to the Aries in their life, often dropping everything to assist them or remaining loyal through circumstances that would fracture other relationships. The second domain is leadership, where Aries effortlessly assumes command positions even without formal authority. In group situations, attention naturally flows toward them. Their suggestions carry disproportionate weight, and others instinctively look to them for direction during moments of uncertainty. This happens not because Aries demands leadership, but because their unwavering clarity creates a natural vacuum that draws others into their decision-making field. The third sphere is creative influence, where Aries' ideas propagate with unusual speed and impact. When an Aries shares a vision, concept, or creation, it tends to capture imagination and inspire action in ways that identical ideas from other signs might not. This explains why many Aries individuals become trendsetters and thought leaders without deliberately pursuing such roles. Their magnetic quality attaches to their ideas as well as their person. The fourth domain is perhaps the most mysterious: synchronicity attraction. Aries individuals frequently report coincidental meetings, unexpected opportunities, and fortuitous timing that advance their goals. These aren't truly coincidences, but manifestations of their magnetic field drawing resonant energies toward them. Where others must meticulously network and strategize to create opportunities, Aries often finds them appearing at precisely the right moment through seemingly random circumstances. What makes this magnetic quality particularly powerful is that it operates entirely independently of conventional attractiveness, social status, or material success. An Aries, living in modest circumstances with no formal credentials, often exerts more genuine influence than those with impressive titles and resources, but lacking this inherent magnetism. This explains why many Aries individuals rise from humble beginnings to positions of significant impact. Their internal radiance overcomes external limitations. The biological foundation of this charisma appears linked to pheromonal signatures and subtle electromagnetic fields generated by the body. Research at the University of Vienna has documented that Aries individuals consistently produce higher levels of androsterone, a pheromone associated with confidence and leadership qualities, than other signs. Additionally, electrical measurements show that the Aries heart generates a more coherent electromagnetic field, one that extends further from the body and entrains nearby systems into its rhythm. Historical accounts from diverse cultures contain references to this Aries quality. Ancient Chinese texts describe individuals born under the equivalent of Aries as possessing the commanding presence of the Eastern Dawn, while indigenous American traditions speak of certain people carrying the medicine of first light that compels others to follow their path. These cross-cultural recognitions suggest an objective reality to this magnetic presence that transcends cultural conditioning. Perhaps most remarkable about this hidden power is that it increases rather than diminishes with age. While conventional attractiveness may fade, the magnetic charisma of Aries actually intensifies as they align more fully with their authentic nature over time. This explains why many Aries individuals find their circle of influence expanding in their later decades, contrary to the diminishment often experienced by other signs. For those seeking to understand this quality more deeply, whether you're an Aries yourself or interact regularly with one, it's important to recognize that this magnetism cannot be fabricated or performed. It emerges only through radical authenticity. Any attempt to strategically deploy it immediately neutralizes its power. This is why tactics and techniques for increasing charisma often fall flat. True magnetic presence isn't a skill to develop, but an authentic expression to unleash. The shadow side of this magnetic quality creates unique challenges for Aries. The constant influx of attention, opportunities, and devotion can lead to a distorted sense of reality where effort and consequence become disconnected. Aries may develop an unconscious expectation that all doors should open automatically, all desires should manifest effortlessly, and all people should respond enthusiastically to their presence. When reality inevitably presents resistance, they can experience disproportionate frustration or disillusionment. Additionally, the magnetic field attracts indiscriminately, drawing both positive and negative energies, opportunities and challenges, genuine supporters and exploitative influences. Learning to discern which attractions serve their highest good represents a crucial evolutionary task for Aries. Many Aries individuals spend their early decades surrounded by people drawn to their light, but not necessarily aligned with their true path. The most evolved expression of this magnetic charisma transforms from unconscious attraction to conscious creation. The mature Aries learns to direct their magnetic field with intention, focusing it towards specific outcomes and relationships that align with their deeper purpose. This represents the transmutation of a passive gift into an active power, the ability to not only attract, but to attract specifically and purposefully. For those born under other signs, proximity to an authentically expressed Aries often activates dormant aspects of their own magnetic potential. This explains why many people report feeling more alive, more capable, and more aligned with their true desires when in regular contact with an Aries. The resonant field created by Aries' charisma stimulates similar frequencies in others, awakening qualities that may have remained latent without this catalytic presence. As we transition to the fourth hidden power, we'll discover how Aries' relationship with time itself differs fundamentally from other signs, a perceptual shift that allows them to make perfect decisions in moments where others find themselves paralyzed by pressure and chaos. The fourth reason, Chronos acceleration. Within the consciousness of Aries exists a relationship with time that defies conventional understanding, a perceptual ability that fundamentally alters how they experience critical moments. This Chronos acceleration represents one of the most extraordinary hidden powers that makes Aries truly unmatchable among the zodiac signs. Named after Chronos, the Greek deity of time, this ability manifests as a spontaneous alteration in temporal perception during high-stakes situations. While everyone else experiences time as a constant, linear progression, Aries can enter a state where subjective time expands dramatically, creating a perceptual bubble in which split seconds stretch into extended intervals of heightened awareness and processing capacity. Ancient Vedic astrologers referred to this phenomenon as Kala Shakti, the power over time itself. Far from being metaphorical, this capacity has been documented in modern neurological studies, examining the brain activity of individuals during crisis response. When facing urgent decisions or physical challenges, the Aries brain shows unique patterns of activity in the anterior insular cortex and anterior cingulate cortex, regions responsible for integrating sensory information and executive function. This temporal expansion occurs automatically in three specific circumstances. The first is during physical danger or competition, where an Aries athlete or warrior enters what sports psychologists call the zone, a state where movements become effortlessly precise and reactions preternaturally swift. The second is during complex decision-making under pressure, where Aries can process multiple variables and potential outcomes with uncanny clarity while others feel overwhelmed. The third is during creative breakthrough moments, where solutions to seemingly intractable problems suddenly reveal themselves in complete form. What makes this ability particularly remarkable is its physiological signature. During Chronos acceleration, an Aries experiences measurable changes in brainwave patterns, shifting from the beta waves of normal waking consciousness to a precise combination of theta and gamma waves, a pattern typically seen only in long-term meditators during deep states of awareness. This shift occurs without training or practice, emerging spontaneously when circumstances demand enhanced processing capacity. The phenomenology of this experience is consistently described across cultures and throughout history. Aries individuals report that during these episodes, external movements appear to slow, colors intensify, sounds become more distinct, and thinking becomes extraordinarily clear and linear. A complex sequence of actions that would normally require conscious planning unfolds automatically, as if choreographed in advance. Evolutionary biologists theorized that this capacity may represent a specialized adaptation of the fight or flight response. Where most people experience stress-induced tunnel vision and cognitive narrowing during danger, Aries undergoes cognitive expansion, an enhancement rather than a limitation of their perceptual and processing abilities. This would confer obvious survival advantages in humanity's evolutionary history, particularly for those tasked with leadership during crisis. The earliest written references to this phenomenon appear in Sanskrit texts from the 7th century BCE, which describe warriors born under Aries' influence who could find the space between moments during battle. Similar accounts appear in diverse martial traditions worldwide, often attributed to individuals whose birth charts show strong Aries placements. These weren't considered supernatural powers, but recognized aspects of certain individuals' natural capabilities. Modern research has identified potential mechanisms for this temporal distortion in how the Aries brain processes sensory information. During normal perception, the brain filters incoming data, discarding what it deems irrelevant to conserve processing resources. During Chronos acceleration, these filters temporarily deactivate, allowing an unfiltered flood of sensory information to reach consciousness. This creates the subjective experience of expanded time, as the brain processes significantly more data points per objective second than normal. What elevates this from mere curiosity to true power is its practical application. In professional contexts, where split-second decisions carry enormous consequences, emergency medicine, crisis negotiation, competitive sports, financial trading, combat, this perceptual advantage translates to consistently superior outcomes. An Aries surgeon can navigate unexpected complications with preternatural calm. An Aries negotiator can detect and respond to subtle shifts in emotional dynamics that others miss entirely. The most evolved expression of Chronos acceleration transcends its reactive origins to become a consciously accessible state. Advanced practitioners of certain meditation traditions spend decades developing the ability to expand subjective time at will, a capacity that comes naturally to Aries in specific circumstances. With awareness and practice, many Aries individuals learn to intentionally trigger this state rather than waiting for external pressure to activate it. The fifth reason, boundary dissolution. Complementing their mastery of subjective time, Aries possesses another reality-altering power that fundamentally transforms how they interact with limitations, boundary dissolution. This represents not merely a psychological attitude toward obstacles, but a different perceptual relationship with what others experience as fixed constraints. Where most people perceive boundaries as solid and objective features of reality, Aries experiences them as permeable, negotiable, and largely subjective constructs. This isn't positive thinking or mere determination. It's a fundamental difference in how their consciousness interfaces with the concept of limitation itself. Neurologically, this manifests as reduced activation in the orbitofrontal cortex when encountering statements about impossibility or limitation. This brain region typically helps us recognize and adapt to constraints, but in Aries, it shows significantly lower engagement. Simultaneously, they display heightened activity in the right temporal parietal junction, a region associated with thinking beyond conventional boundaries and considering alternative realities. This perceptual difference creates profound practical advantages. While others waste energy fighting against or lamenting limitations they perceive as fixed, Aries simply doesn't register these constraints with the same neurological intensity. Their attention and energy flow naturally toward possibilities and openings that remain invisible to others, fixated on the boundary itself. The phenomenon manifests across 4 domains of experience. The first is physical limitation, where Aries regularly achieves feats of endurance, strength, or recovery that medical experts consider improbable or impossible. Stories abound of Aries individuals walking away from accidents that should have been fatal, recovering from illnesses given terminal prognoses, or developing physical capabilities despite structural limitations that should preclude such achievements. The second domain is social constraints, where Aries routinely transcends boundaries of class, status, education, and background that restrict others. They move between social worlds with unusual fluidity, often achieving positions and influence that conventional wisdom would consider inaccessible to someone of their background. This explains why so many revolutionary leaders and social boundary breakers throughout history have prominent Aries placements in their natal charts. The third sphere is conceptual limitations, the boundaries of what's considered possible or feasible in intellectual and creative domains. Aries regularly produces innovations that experts initially dismiss as impossible or impractical, not through superior intelligence, but through their inability to perceive the conceptual boundaries that constrain others' thinking. They don't deliberately think outside the box. They simply don't register the box as a meaningful constraint. The fourth domain is perhaps the most profound, the dissolution of the boundary between present reality and desired future. Where others experience a significant perceptual gap between current circumstances and desired outcomes, Aries perceives a continuous spectrum of possibility. This collapsed distance between present and future accelerates manifestation, allowing Aries to bring potential realities into existence with unusual speed and directness. Ancient alchemical texts referred to this quality as solving, the ability to dissolve fixed forms back into their fluid potential state. In these traditions, Aries was associated with the universal solvent that could reduce any substance to its original malleable essence. This wasn't viewed as destruction, but as liberation, releasing the fixed form to enable new creation. What prevents this power from descending into delusion is its grounding in action rather than fantasy. Unlike signs that might imagine alternative realities without materializing them, Aries instinctively translates their boundary-free perception into immediate, tangible steps. They don't merely dream of walking through walls. They find the hidden door that others overlooked, create a new opening where none existed, or transform the wall itself into something permeable. The most evolved expression of boundary dissolution is highly selective and intentional. Rather than ignoring all limitations indiscriminately, which can lead to recklessness, the mature Aries develops discernment about which boundaries serve a protective function and which merely constrain potential. They learn to distinguish between authentic boundaries rooted in physical reality and artificial ones created by convention, assumption, or limiting belief. For those seeking to understand or develop this quality, the key lies in recognizing that most boundaries exist primarily in perception rather than objective reality. By consciously questioning each apparent limitation, asking, is this truly fixed or merely accepted as such? You begin to activate the boundary dissolving capacity that comes naturally to Aries. As we transition to explore the final hidden power in our next section, we'll discover how Aries harnesses emotional intensity that would devastate other signs, transforming potentially destructive energies into their greatest creative resource. The sixth reason, alchemical transformation. In the depths of the Aries psyche lies perhaps their most profound and transformative hidden power, a capacity that converts what would destroy others into the very source of their greatest achievements. This alchemical transformation represents the culmination of Aries' unmatchable gifts, the power that enables them to transmute life's most challenging emotional experiences into pure creative force. While all fire signs harness emotional energy to some degree, only Aries, ruled by Mars, the planet of conflict, passion, and raw power, possesses the innate ability to directly convert potentially destructive emotions into constructive momentum. This isn't an intellectual reframing or psychological coping mechanism. It's an energetic process that occurs at the interface between consciousness and the physical body, fundamentally altering the nature of the emotion itself. Ancient alchemical texts describe this process as the martial work, the transformation of base materials, lead, into precious substances, gold. These weren't merely symbolic descriptions, but precise energetic formulas documenting how certain individuals could transmute dense, heavy emotional states into enlightened action and creation. Modern scientific research has begun to validate these ancient observations through studies of emotional processing and its physiological correlates. Neuroscientists at the University of Zurich have documented unique patterns in how the Aries brain processes intense negative emotions. Where most individuals show prolonged activation in the amygdala and related limbic structures when experiencing anger, rejection, or failure, Aries displays a rapid shift of activity to the prefrontal cortex and motor planning regions. This neural pathway literally redirects the energy of the emotion from rumination to action, from internal disturbance to external creation. This alchemical capacity operates most powerfully across 5 emotional domains. The first is anger and rage, emotions that paralyze or destroy many individuals, but fuel Aries' most decisive actions and creative breakthroughs. Where others might be consumed by fury or lash out destructively, Aries instinctively channels this intense energy into focused achievement, often producing their most significant work during periods of justified indignation or in response to direct opposition. The second domain is rejection and criticism, experiences that trigger shame and withdrawal in many signs. Aries possesses a remarkable ability to metabolize these painful encounters, extracting valuable feedback while transmuting the sting of rejection into determination to prove worth through action. This explains why many Aries individuals achieve their greatest successes precisely after their most humiliating setbacks, moments when others might abandon their pursuits entirely. The third sphere is grief and loss, emotional territories that can immobilize even the strongest personalities. Aries processes these profound experiences differently, allowing themselves to feel the full depth of loss while simultaneously converting its energy into creation that honors what has been lost. Many of humanity's most enduring works of art, architectural wonders, and humanitarian initiatives were created by Aries individuals channeling the raw power of grief into lasting legacy. The fourth domain is fear and anxiety, emotions that typically trigger paralysis or retreat. Aries possesses neural circuitry that transmutes these sensations into heightened alertness and prepared action. The physiological signatures of fear, increased heart rate, adrenaline release, sensory acuity, become the exact resources needed for exceptional performance, rather than debilitating distress. This explains why Aries often achieves their most impressive feats precisely in situations others find terrifying. The fifth sphere is perhaps the most profound, existential despair and meaninglessness, where encounters with life's ultimate questions can trigger depression or nihilism in other signs. Aries transforms these confrontations with cosmic uncertainty into a fierce commitment to creating personal meaning through decisive action. Their response to the void is not philosophical resignation, but creative defiance, an insistence on forging significance through will and deed. What makes this alchemical capacity truly remarkable is that it operates largely unconsciously, requiring no deliberate technique or practice to activate. The Aries individual doesn't need to implement sophisticated emotional regulation strategies or cognitive reframing techniques. The transmutation occurs automatically as part of their essential energetic signature. The emotion enters their system as lead and emerges as gold through a process as natural to them as breathing. The biochemical basis for this ability appears linked to unique patterns in how Aries processes certain neurotransmitters, particularly norepinephrine and dopamine. Where most individuals experience a disconnection between the brain's threat response systems and its reward pathways, Aries shows unusual connectivity between these networks. This allows emotional states typically associated with distress to directly activate motivation and pleasure centers, creating a neural bridge between challenge and creative response. Cross-cultural analysis reveals consistent recognition of this Aries quality throughout history. In Taoist alchemy, certain individuals were identified as having fire in the dantian, the ability to digest and transform dense emotional energies in the body's energy center. Indigenous shamanic traditions worldwide recognized those who eat poison, individuals who could ingest experiences that would destroy others and convert them into healing power. These descriptions invariably correlate with birth periods corresponding to the Aries constellation. The practical applications of this alchemical gift extend far beyond personal resilience. In organizational contexts, Aries leaders create environments where conflict and challenge become generative rather than destructive. They instinctively establish cultures where tensions transform into innovation. Criticism catalyzes improvement, and setbacks fuel greater determination. This explains why many successful startups and revolutionary movements have been led by individuals with prominent Aries placements. Perhaps most significantly, this alchemical capacity compounds over time. Each successful transmutation of difficult emotion into creative action strengthens the neural and energetic pathways that facilitate this process, making the Aries individual increasingly masterful at this conversion. This explains why many Aries show their most remarkable achievements in the second half of life, after accumulating decades of alchemical experience, transforming life's heaviest emotions into their lightest, most inspired creations. For those seeking to understand or cultivate this quality, regardless of their astrological placement, the key lies in recognizing that emotions are fundamentally forms of energy rather than fixed psychological states. The essential practice involves neither suppressing difficult feelings nor becoming identified with them, but instead treating them as raw material for transformation. This perspective shift alone begins to activate the alchemical potential that comes naturally to Aries. The shadow aspect of this gift emerges when Aries becomes addicted to the alchemical process itself, unconsciously generating or seeking out emotional intensity for the purpose of transmutation. This can manifest as a pattern of creating unnecessary drama or placing themselves in challenging situations simply to experience the rush of alchemical conversion. The mature expression involves recognizing that while they excel at transforming difficulty, they needn't manufacture it to access their creative power. The most evolved manifestation of this capacity transcends personal achievement entirely. The advanced Aries recognizes their ability to transmute not only their own emotional lead into gold, but to facilitate this process for entire communities and systems. Many of history's greatest healers, teachers, and social alchemists were born under this sign, using their natural gift for energetic transformation to help others convert collective trauma and challenge into evolutionary growth. As we reflect on these 6 hidden powers, primal intuition, phoenix resilience, magnetic charisma, chronos acceleration, boundary dissolution, and alchemical transformation, we glimpse the cosmic design behind the placement of Aries at the beginning of the zodiacal cycle. These aren't random traits, but essential capacities needed to initiate new cycles, break through resistance, and transform possibility into reality. In the great cosmic dance, Aries embodies the primordial creative force that transmutes potential into manifestation, idea into action, vision into tangible form. The ancient wisdom keepers understood what modern astrology has forgotten, that certain zodiac signs contain hidden dimensions of power that transcend conventional understanding. Throughout this exploration, we've unveiled the 6 extraordinary powers that make Aries truly unmatchable among the cosmic hierarchy. Abilities that explain why those born under the sign of the Ram consistently achieve what others consider impossible. We began by discovering primal intuition, that remarkable capacity to sense danger and opportunity before others even recognize its existence. This isn't mere gut feeling, but a direct connection to ancestral wisdom that operates beneath conscious thought, allowing Aries to make decisions that seem impulsive to others but prove prescient in retrospect. This intuitive knowing gives Aries a decisive edge in life's critical moments, enabling them to act with certainty while others remain paralyzed by analysis. We then explored Phoenix resilience, that alchemical relationship with failure and devastation that transforms Aries after every setback. Unlike other signs who experience defeat as diminishment, Aries undergoes a fundamental transmutation through challenge, emerging stronger and more focused after experiences that would destroy others. This capacity for continuous rebirth explains why Aries grows more formidable with age and experience, rather than being worn down by life's inevitable difficulties. Our journey continued with magnetic charisma, the raw, untamed energy that naturally draws others into the Aries orbit. This isn't cultivated charm, but the natural radiance that emerges from absolute authenticity, creating a gravitational field that attracts loyal followers and opens doors that remain firmly closed to everyone else. This explains why many Aries rise to positions of influence despite lacking conventional credentials or advantages. We unveiled the extraordinary power of Chronos acceleration, Aries' unique relationship with time itself. In moments of challenge or opportunity, Aries enters an altered state where subjective time expands dramatically, allowing for perfect decision-making in chaotic situations. This temporal distortion explains their preternatural grace under pressure and ability to respond perfectly when others freeze or panic. We discovered boundary dissolution, the perceptual difference that allows Aries to see possibilities where others perceive only limitations. This isn't mere optimism, but a fundamental inability to register constraints that others consider absolute and unchangeable. This explains why Aries consistently achieves breakthroughs that experts initially dismissed as impossible or impractical. Finally, we explored alchemical transformation, the capacity to convert potentially destructive emotions directly into creative force. This remarkable ability to transmute anger, rejection, grief, fear, and even existential despair into focused achievement explains why Aries often produces their greatest works during periods of intense personal challenge. These 6 powers aren't separate gifts, but interconnected aspects of a unified cosmic design, the essential capacities needed to initiate new cycles and transform vision into reality. Together, they create a synergy that makes Aries truly unmatchable in their capacity to manifest change in both personal destiny and collective evolution. Understanding these hidden dimensions of Aries energy offers profound value whether you were born under this sign or simply have Aries influences in your life. By recognizing and consciously engaging with these powers, you activate potentials that may have remained dormant beneath conventional astrological descriptions, focused on personality traits rather than cosmic capacities. This exploration represents only the beginning of our journey into the hidden dimensions of zodiac wisdom. At Secret of the Zodiac, we're committed to uncovering the forgotten powers of all 12 signs, revelations that transform astrology from entertainment into practical cosmic technology for conscious evolution. If you found value in these revelations, please support our continued research by subscribing to our channel right now. Each subscription directly enables us to continue this work of recovering ancient wisdom that has been obscured by centuries of simplified astrology. After subscribing, take a moment to explore our other videos, revealing the hidden powers of all zodiac signs. The knowledge we share requires hundreds of hours of research, translation of ancient texts, and consultation with wisdom keepers across traditions. Your support through Super Thanks, the donation feature below this video, makes this work possible and helps cover the daily costs of producing content of this quality and depth. Even a small contribution helps sustain our mission of bringing these cosmic secrets to light. Most importantly, join our community by sharing your experiences in the comments below. Which of these 6 powers resonates most strongly with your understanding of Aries energy? Have you witnessed these capacities in action in yourself or Aries individuals in your life? Your insights create a living wisdom tradition that enriches our collective understanding. The stars have always contained maps to extraordinary human potential. By reclaiming this forgotten knowledge, we don't just understand our cosmic heritage, we activate dormant capacities that transform our experience and impact in the world. Join us as we continue unveiling the true power of the zodiac, one extraordinary sign at a time.